Okay. If you've lost me, I went away and I've just come back. So I'm going to finish this other one and start up again. I hope you'll join me if you're seeing this recorded. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm back. For whatever reason, we were having a little bit of trouble with internet. There we go. Okay, there's somebody back and watching. I hope we can get you all back. Yay. Okay. What I had to do, sometimes my internet has a hiccup or whatever. Oop, let me cut this one off so it doesn't start talking while I'm trying to talk. I'm interrupting myself. How about that? Okay. Okay, I hope everybody finds us again. Sorry about that. Sometimes we have a little internet delay, so I've just gone on my phone to make it a little easier. And I had lost a couple of the comments there because of that, but a couple of moms were saying, one was saying they get mad, and then they get frustrated, and they get frustrated because they're mad, and it just starts going into a loop. So totally get that. Let me see if I can I don't know if I'm able to bring those moms back on. Anyway, I hope they'll find us. Let me see how our time is. We've got about 10 minutes left, 10 to 15. So as you guys pick back up and coming in, we had one mom, Liddell, say that her son had hearing loss, so they did not get the diagnosis until a little bit later because of the hearing loss. And so that was, causing obviously a lot of their miscommunication, not knowing what was going on. So now he is getting the help that he needs. So that's great. And Karen was saying, I so understand the frustration. We get mad at ourselves when we aren't as patient as we should be with our children. And the thing about autism, or at least Morgan's, like I said, sometimes she can be very hard to motivate. She's always telling you, I'm always having to convince her to do things. And thanks for coming back in, guys. Appreciate it. Sorry we lost the internet, so I jumped back on this way. But anyway, for example, Morgan, we were on Wednesdays. That's our cleaning day, and we were working on changing the bed sheets, and she was doing her normal complaining. As I said, a lot of times Morgan can sound like a little old lady with my feet hurt, oh my head hurts, oh I'm just not right, and so this can go on and on and on. And if I'm in a good place, I can just let it pass and just keep working with her and not comment, because the worst thing you can do sometimes when, like I said, when it is part of the disability, is antagonize, or you might feel bad. There's Liddell. Yay, I'm glad you're back. Okay. Sorry, guys, for losing y'all. But anyway, when sometimes because of Morgan's autism, and part of hers is that just, she'll go on and on about something, say the same thing over and over, or she does have part of her personality is to be a little bit of an Eeyore. I think she gets that from her dad. So she was doing that to me the other morning, just complaining about everything she could think of to complain about. And I just, it just got the best of me. And I looked at her and I just sighed. I'm like, oh, Morgan, please. And so just that little bit from me of, the frustration, the aggravation, and she just boo-hooed. She lost it. Then I felt so terrible. I felt so awful for, for, I don't know, just like I said, showing her that I was human. And there's Karen again. I'm glad these were the two moms who were commenting earlier. Just remembering that we're human too. We can only take so much. And for Morgan, I'm the cheerleader. I'm the one who's trying to always move her forward, get her to do things. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy to do it. And in this instance, when she was complaining and just kept on, and then I finally showed my discontent with her just a little, and it didn't help anything. It only made it worse, obviously, because the world does revolve around them. And so I have to remind myself, if I don't want to exacerbate the problem, make it worse, it's better to just kind of, take it one step at a time. I want to teach her the best that I can, and a lot of times Morgan has learned best through social stories. So if I could sit down at another time when we weren't in the middle of her complaining, and if anybody has any suggestions, I'd love to find a little book about whining and complaining and how it makes everybody sort of sad. I think that may be the best way to approach it, and that way maybe she'll get the picture and the understanding without getting her feelings hurt. As I was saying, Karen said earlier about, she'll get mad and then she'll get frustrated because she's mad, and then it's just like a vicious cycle. And I so get that because, but it is back to realizing that, you're human too. We're human, and our children need to understand that we have feelings too, because Morgan's really quick about letting me know I have hurt her feelings, and you don't have to do much at all. So, oh, you've hurt my feelings. And I'm like, well, Mom has feelings too. And sometimes they get hurt. So we have to take care of each other and be kind and thoughtful to each other. So to the moms out there who have days just like me, and we just have had a tear sometimes, give yourself a break, and and just realize that we all mess up. We can try again. I did see something on Alzheimer's recently for caregivers who are working with someone who has Alzheimer's or dementia, and some of the things to do to help address, like, in other words, how you react to someone, because it is part of their disability if they're having memory loss or they're upset, how it's best not to antagonize but to just sort of move forward. And I'll try to remember to post that, because oddly enough, when I was reading it, I use a lot of the same tactics with Morgan, because I can see that, like I said, if you're both in the moment, it's not the best time to address the situation. It's better to kind of go, back away from it and breathe, and or like we do, like I said, use a social story, tell it like a story, so you can teach. Because I do think we should always be challenging our young people, our young adults, our kids. When they're littler, it's not as easy, but the older they get, we do need to challenge them, even though their disability may be the world revolves around me. They do need to understand that that's not really how the world works, because although we love them and we're going to put up with a whole lot of stuff, the world won't necessarily. And so for their sake, for their safety, we need to help them understand the needs of others, and and how to think about it. Even if they don't completely understand, even if it becomes a rule, we may need to teach it that way. I don't know, but we've got to find a way to yeah, thank you, Liddell. You get it. You see what I'm saying? We have to teach it just as a rule, and then hopefully one day they'll understand it. Because, for Morgan, as much as she loves us, I'm looking at the time. As much as I know she loves Mom and Dad, she still thinks she's number one. And, and so it's really funny sometimes. It's not funny when you're in the middle of it, but it's funny when you look back. But there's other adults that way too, who are all about themselves, and we've got to learn for each of us that it's not all my party. We got to work this out together and share and just learn to take care of each other. And again, I really want you guys, if you're feeling that guilt, if you're feeling like you're not doing the best you can, that you've messed up, instead of wasting your time on yesterday and maybe what you've done wrong, we can start today, and try again. We've all got that. I do want to share a scripture with you. We're about to wrap it up. And for those who are believers, who are Christian, I go back to scripture a lot of times when I'm trying to research. I'll look up things on guilt or whatever topic I'm having trouble with, so it helps me get by. And one of the things that I just love that I was reading on guilt, when I'm going to have to just read this because I won't be able to do it without doing that. I want to share this with you to kind of close today. It was let's see if I can read it in the best way. Basically, when we're guilty ourselves or giving ourselves a hard time, it's 1 John 3, 18 through 20 or 23. Let me get it right. Yeah, 1 John 3, 18 through 20. Little children, let us not merely in theory or in speech, but in deed and in truth, in practice and in sincerity. By this we shall come to know, perceive, recognize, and understand that we are of the truth. Oh, I'm reading a little bit early. Okay, it's verses 20. So it starts, let me try that again. Speaking of goof ups. Okay, but it's 1 John chapter 3 and verse 20. Whenever our hearts in tormenting self-accusation make us feel guilty and condemn us, for we are in God's hands, for he is above and greater than our consciences and hearts, and he knows, perceives, and understands everything. Nothing is hidden from him. So, and then it goes on in 21, but basically what it says, that if God forgives us, then we need to forgive ourselves. And if we just have to, again, he's perfect and we're not. So if he can love us, with all our faults, then we need to love ourselves with our faults too. And just remember, we are who we are. We keep going forward and we keep trying. I hope I've given you something today you can use. You've got 2 videos here because the first one, the internet went down, and then we come back with this one. I'll put it as a part 2. Thank you, Liddell. Thanks for watching. I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to share a little bit of what I've learned, and still learning, always learning. And as moms, I just want you to give yourselves a break when you're feeling like, oh, I messed up. I can do a little better than this. You can try again, like I said, the next day. I do not have a topic for next week yet. It usually comes up during the week when I'm dealing with something and I'm having a problem. So that's if we're not doing interviews. If you look back at past interviews, we do have with a couple of different agencies that serve individuals with disabilities. I interviewed Melody Guy a couple of weeks back. She's a singer-songwriter on the autism spectrum, and that was great. Really enjoyed her. I hope you'll look back to try to find those posts. And I do want to, when I slow down, I have our YouTube channel, Tammy Vice. It might be listed under TB Vice or Tammy Vice, and I'm going to upload these different Facebook Lives there, so you can hopefully go back and find them there. And Liddell was asking how often I go live. It's, as a rule, it's Mondays, 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We pick up different topics each week. It's a visit with mom. It's just, like I said, whatever comes up. If you've got something you're wanting to talk about, if you have learned something you want to share, I'd love to hear it. And again, we're just trying to get the greater community to understand, to create a little more awareness. So I love hearing anything you guys have to offer as well. And I think, let's see, that's just about going to do it. And sometimes I do, you'll hear me, my therapy is songwriting. So sometimes I'll share a song with you when I'm doing this. I'm excited because Hendersonville has a Main Street Porch Festival that's coming up June 1st. And Ginger is she had asked me to spread the word if I would. But a lot of our local songwriters are there. It's Hazel Path is where it's located. It's on a lot of the porches, and you'll see different singer-songwriters out there, and they, just some great talent there out there, and I'm getting to be a part of it. I'm excited. The weekly hall singers, it's our adult Friends Choir from church. They're going to be singing at 12 o'clock on the South Hall porch. I'll be singing at 3:30 on the Concord porch. But I think you can find the Hendersonville Porch Fest on Facebook and look up to find out more about who's going to be there. There's this little girl, I say little girl, she's 14, I think, Ava, and she's amazing. She's going to be there. So lots of good talent out there and lots of fun, just a good place to gather for the family. A nice little family atmosphere festival. So again, that's June 1st, Porch Fest in Hendersonville. Thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate it. Hope to see you next week. Again, just whenever you make a mistake or mess up, you get to try again tomorrow. So, and tell your kids the same thing. I love y'all. Appreciate you watching and listening to me ramble. And whenever you have a subject, please bring it to me. Love you, and we'll talk to you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.